Yes, hello. So this is the second prediction for Neco 2025 question 1 practical on mechanics. Okay, usually question 1 is mechanics, question 2 is optics, question 3 is electricity. Okay, so the mechanics, I have done the first prediction. You can search the video. This is the second prediction for question 1. Okay, now the second one I said June 1994. The first one we did was June 1992, WAEC past question. WAEC past question, June 1992 was the video I did first for the first prediction. Now the second one is 1994. Okay, if you have your PQ, please study. Okay, and you'll see some questions that will also serve as a guide on how you will tackle this question when you are faced with it. So now let's do this. Now you'll be given a set of instruction. Okay, you do follow those instructions and you see yourself doing the right thing. That's one thing I like with physics practical. Follow the instruction and you see yourself doing the experiment perfectly. Okay, now you will be given a ruler, a pivot, and a slotted mass. Okay, now let's follow the instruction. As you are following the instruction, be looking at the diagram. As you are following the instruction, be looking at the diagram on your question paper. Okay, let's do this. You are provided with a meter rule. This is a meter rule, a knife edge, and a mass 50 gram. This is the mass 50 gram. Balance the meter rule on the knife edge and record the scale mark C. So you are expected to find the CG of the meter rule by balancing it on a pivot or knife edge. So if you do this, okay, and then you have a point where the meter rule is balanced. You get your point out. It should be within the range of 49 to 51. Okay, that range. So we have here, according to what we have on our past question, 50.5 centimeter. Okay, so now let's go. Okay, so after you have found the CG, the next instruction say balance the meter rule on the knife edge and record the scale mark C corresponding to the distance of each center of gravity from the end of the rule. Suspend the given mass from the meter rule such that Y is equal to 2 centimeters as shown on the diagram above. So the mass you have been given labeled, okay, to be labeled maybe X, M, whatever. We put it on 2 centimeters. So it's going to be on 2 centimeters like what the instruction says. So here is going to be 2 centimeters. Okay, so as shown on the diagram, balance the meter rule with the hanging mass on the knife edge. So this is the only mass that is given in this case. The first one we did, we have a mass that is constant on this side, and then we are given another mass to balance. In this case, while no mass is given for the other end. Okay, it is the weight of the metal rule that is being used to balance the other end. Okay, so it means that you keep, once you have done this, you have put this on 2 centimeters, you try to balance it on the knife edge until it is horizontally stable, on the knife edge. So once it is stable on the knife edge, you, from your stable point, you find D, and then you find X. So X is the distance between the pivot and what you got as your C. Remember, you got your C to be from what they did here, the C is 50.5. So X is the distance between C and where the pivot balances. Then D is the distance between the pivot and where you hung your 50 gram mass 2 centimeter. Okay, that is it. So D is this, and then X is this. Okay, Y is given. All right, so let's see the next instruction. Balance the meter rule with the hanging mass on the knife edge. Read and record the position of the pivot. Okay, read and record the position of the pivot. So once it is balanced, you read. I think this one is the easiest way out. You read off the position of the pivot. Okay, determine the values of D and X. I've explained how to find D and X. So it means once you have read off the position of the pivots, okay, 50.1 minus what you read here will give you x. Okay, so once you have this one, this position minus 2 centimeter will give you what? D. Is that okay? So determine the values of d and x. Repeat the experiment with y is equal to 4, y is equal to 6, y is equal to 8, y is equal to 10, and they have 12 centimeter respectively, but I didn't do for 12 because of late WAEC usually asks for 5. Okay, you do experiment 5 times. It used to be 6, but it has been reduced to what? 5. So we have this thing. So what you have done, you are going to repeat same for 4. Once you have understood the first experiment, usually the second, the third, the fourth is usually a walkover because you've understood the experiment. Okay, so now what do we do now for the case of 4? You simply move this from 2 centimeter to 4. Okay, and then you balance the meter rule again. Once you balance your meter rule, you read off the point where it is on the knife edge. Okay, where the meter rule is on the knife edge, you read it off. Okay, then this minus this will give us x. Okay, that's CG minus where this pivot is will give us what? X. And here is now going to be 4, so this position minus 4 will give us what? D. Okay, so determine the corresponding values of dx. Tabulate your reading. Plot a graph of d against x. So in the next video we'll be treating plotting of graph. Okay, please follow me so that you can enjoy uh learning with me. Okay, you can learn how to plot graph. Most students don't know how to plot graph. Please follow me so that you can learn how to plot graph. I'm still Bukola Joseph, the physics enthusiast. Bye.